let me share something with you. If I said, let me tell you something, compared to me saying, let me show you. See how that lands? We've suddenly gone from head to head, more now heart to heart.
Please welcome my partner in crime, Mr. Sam Cawthorne.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for that amazing intro, Craig, that I wrote. All right. All right, I have been thinking a lot about this last conversation and actually how I can add as much value as I can. I love this word decision, or the word decide. It actually comes from the Latin word decidere, and that word decision, like the word scission, means to cut. We know that, yeah? So the word scission means to cut. And the word decide, the word side, yeah? Suicide, pesticide, the word side means to kill. Isn't that interesting? So the word decision means to cut off and kill. And I believe the world lacks leaders right now that make decisions. Why? Because we love keeping our options open. We love sitting on the fence. But tonight I'm actually going to take you through a bit of a journey of discovery, maybe in some decisions that you need to make in order for what do you need to do to even upgrade a skill. And we've heard a lot of different type of skills that we can upgrade here tonight. But also, actually, how can we go from where we are today to the possibilities of tomorrow, whatever that might be. And I'm going to do this through the power of story. And we've heard a lot about story, but I'm going to share with you a really cool story. A few years ago, I won this award, Young Australian of the Year. They flew me up through to Canberra, and I flew my mum and dad there. And you know how sometimes things don't always go according to plan, yeah? So here I am, I'm about to meet the Australian Prime Minister, Kevin Rudd, yeah? But I'm thinking to myself, what can I do in order for the Prime Minister to remember me? Because as you know, PM probably meets hundreds of people every day, as if they remember everyone that they meet. So I had one of my prosthetic arms on. So clearly I've got a story. I think we've all got stories. But I've got a whole heap of different type of prosthetic arms. I've got one for playing golf. I've even got a swimming arm. I've got a bionic arm. It's like the most advanced bionic arm in the world. I even program it with my iPhone 13. Seriously, I've got an app for my arm. Actually, if you guys downloaded the app, you can control my hand, right? Actually, I've got 8 arms all up. How many arms do you have? So anyway, I'm about to meet the Australian Prime Minister, but I had my cosmetic arm. So my hand looks exactly the same as my normal hand. So if I wore a long sleeve jacket on, which I was on the day, you can't notice at all that I have a prosthetic arm. So I went up to the Prime Minister of Australia. He sees me, comes over to me, and he come to shake my hand. As the Prime Minister of Australia went to shake my hand, I detached my hand and my hand came off into his hand. So, Glenn McGrath, Adam Gilchrist, a few other celebrities there, they saw what was happening. They just started pissing themselves laughing. The world's media came in, taking photos of him. The Prime Minister Kevin Rudd standing there, holding my hand, right? And in his Australia Day speech, he said, look, today we're surrounded by very significant Australians. We have Aboriginal elders, we have community leaders, we have sports heroes, but nothing can ever beat the intro I had to Sam this morning. Because when you meet Sam, it's an extraordinary experience, because when you shake his hand, he'll leave his hand in your hand. And in his Australia Day speech, the PM actually then looked over to me and he goes, and thanks, Sam, I'm still recovering from therapy today. Actually, I just wanted to give you some actual evidence that this really did happen. As you can see, there's Adam Gilchrist there in the back, and there's a PM's wife, Therese. She's just lost it, right? And the Prime Minister of Australia is just handing me back my hand. It was certainly a very funny moment, that's for sure. I think we all have moments, though. And moments can be hilarious, but other moments can be quite life-defining and life-challenging. Recently, I came across a word, and the word was called this, kairos. Get this. Kairos is the Greek word for time. So contrasting to chronos or chronological time, meaning ordinary or normal time, kairos time is laden with meaning and choice. So get this, the dictionary meaning of the word kairos is this, is a moment within a moment, a particular moment in where drastic change takes place. It's a moment within a moment. My kairos moment happened a few years ago. I had a major car accident. The police said it was a 206-kilometre head-on collision with a semi-trailer truck. And it was my fault. It was my fault. I fell asleep behind the wheel. I veered over the other side of the road, and I was going 104. The truck was going 102. It was a combined impact. However, what we do know is that things don't always go according to plan. And even though at the time I was working for the Australian federal government as a youth futurist, from that moment on, there was just a local youth group asked me to share my story, and then a school then asked me to share my story. This was 16 years ago. And I suppose then the rest is history. I then became a professional speaker. I've now spoken in over 50 countries and continue just to love inspiring other people and how they can also share their story in a really powerful way. But there is a few ways that really helped me in order for me to bounce forward from my own accident, both in my professional life and my personal life. Let me just share with you these 3 ways, and can I encourage you, if you can, write this down. I've actually shared these principles to many people all around the world. Let's have a look at the very first one. It is master communication for influence. Now, what we've already seen here is so many various ways how we can master communication for influence. But what we do know is that when it does come to communication in general, there's 2 main parts, and we've already discovered this. One is the content, what we say. So these are the words that we say. And the other is the method, how we say it. And I think it's really important. A lot of the time, whenever we are presenting or preparing for a presentation, we spend all of our preparation in this is what we're going to say. But what we've already discovered tonight, that the fundamental part of influencing someone is going to be in the method, how we say it. That's everything from body language to gestures, tonality, facial expressions, and the like. The second thing that really helped me was story showing trumps information. I've actually written a book on this, and actually at my promoter over here, and it's great to see Sharon, really, really good. We actually then launched that, and we got it to top 50 New York Times, which was really, really exciting. But the bottom line is that when it does come to stories in general, I believe we've all got a hero inside of us. And your story is your number 1 trump card. No one on the planet has your story. And my encouragement to you is when you share your story, you can inspire others to get through what you went through. I would even go as far as to say this: your story is no longer yours to own. Your story is there to help other people go through what you've been through. So share your story more, because I believe there are beautiful heroes right in this room. And really the tipping point for story showing for me was this, is that an average storyteller will inform, a good storyteller will persuade, a great storyteller will inspire. And bottom line is, I love inspiration. I'll go and watch the latest Top Gun movie and I'm inspired by that, yeah? But inspiration will not necessarily lead to action. Have you found, we can be really inspired on a night like tonight, but then the reality is we'll go to our workplaces tomorrow and we'll get busy in our ordinary, everyday, busy lives. So there has to be a shift. And the shift started to happen a few years ago. Everyone sort of started to talk about visual storytelling, but we're still using this word tell. And to be quite honest, we're sick and tired of people telling us what to do. We are, aren't we? We're at home and our parents tell us what to do. We're in school and our teacher tells us what to do. And then all of a sudden we're in the workplace and our boss tells us what to do. Now all of a sudden we have to be storytellers. Let me share something with you. If I said, let me tell you something, compared to me saying, let me show you something, see how that lands? We've suddenly gone from head to head, more now heart to heart, which then means an excellent story shower will transform. What's transformation? I've been informed, I've been persuaded, I've been inspired, but now I'm ready to take action. But this isn't the tipping point. The tipping point is what we like to call transcendence. Transcendence is like an outer body experience. It's like a sense of timelessness. When we transcend others' ways of thinking, all of a sudden we forget to look at our watch. We don't even take out our phone and surf TikTok. Why? Because we're transcended in that moment. And I believe every single one of us can transcend others' ways of thinking when you learn it. And then the last one here was people follow people. Now, we've actually got a gift for everyone here in this room when you leave, which is awesome. And I've actually put one of my books in your gift bags as you walk out. And that book, in most cases, will be one of these books. It'll either be Bounce Forward, it'll either be Story Showing, or it might be People Follow People. But what we do know is this, is that what we're living right now in what we call the profile economy, where we no longer trust brands, companies, logos, organizations, products, governments, media. We now trust human beings. And we've seen a massive trend when it does come to following brands, logos, companies, organizations, and now we're following human beings. People follow people. Elon Musk has 400 times more followers than Tesla and SpaceX combined. What we're now seeing is that this here is your greatest visual asset within your company, within your organization, within your teams, within your marketplace. And so it's now about being brave to put this face out there, because by the way, you're all really good looking. Let me just finish with this. This here is my younger brother. His name is David. Everyone say hi, David. He's my best mate in the world. We hang out all the time. He's the youngest in my family of 11. Yes, there's 11 in my family. I'm an uncle 39 times. Seriously, I've got 39 nephews and nieces. That's what happens down there in Tasmania. So you know, he's my best mate and he's my best friend, and just recently he was diagnosed with cancer. And it's really hard me seeing my best friend and my younger brother going through chemo, radiation, lose all his hair, everything like that. But I suppose the good news was I was the same blood match as him. So I donated my own bone marrow to my brother. And we're all believing, David, mate, you're going to get through this, you'll be fine. But he actually passed away, he died. And it was really sad me saying goodbye to my best mate, my younger brother. But sometimes things don't go according to plan. We can plan to go in one direction, but life situations, life circumstances will take us in a complete different direction. And yes, there's a time for trauma, there's a time for sadness, yes, there is a time for grieving, but there's also a time for us to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and continue to move forward. So I wanted to ask you a question. What was your kairos moment? What was that moment within a moment that had drastic change in your life? And tell me something, did you bounce back from that? Or did you actually bounce forward? I do know that our greatest days are ahead of us. Why? Because the best is yet to come. Thank you very much.